This is NBC6 South Florida Today.
Well, this weekend, hot air balloons will lift off into the purple-pink dawn when Sunrise Community hosts its 25th annual hot air balloon race. More than being a fundraiser, the community hopes the event inspires people with mental disabilities and those that can help them. Here to tell us more about the event is President of Sunrise Community, Leech Jr. Hi, Les.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good, except a little distressed. You're indicating that here we are at your silver anniversary, year 25 of this balloon race, and you're saying it may be the last in this area. What's going on?
Well, perhaps. The space is becoming constricted. There's a lot of housing. They're extending the runway at Tamiami Airport. As you fly every day, you fly in a different direction, and you can't do that in all directions out of that particular location. So we have a sense of it that it probably will be the last year. That isn't absolutely written in concrete yet, but it's a possibility, which makes this much more important, being the last.
Well, tell us who is benefited by this event. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, Sunrise Community Incorporated, who I work for, is a private nonprofit organization that serves people with developmental disabilities. And as you've probably heard in this last session of the legislature, there are some horrific cuts in health care. We're not exempted from that. So this race, which has been going on 25 years, raises money for people with developmental disabilities, and it's pretty important to us that it continues. And the people with disabilities, mental retardation primarily, are the people who benefit most from the proceeds of this race.
Yeah, it looks like the government is doing this, of course, everywhere, but is looking to devote less and less of public funds to things like this, and I guess we're going to have to rely on private money for so many of these healthcare issues.
That is correct, and the cuts are so terrific that we're not sure you can cover it with a private dollar.
Really?
My colleagues, many of the nonprofit agencies, especially here in Dade County, where cost of living may be higher, we are extremely worried. Worst cuts I've seen in my whole career, and I've been at it 32 years.
And I hear that from teachers in public
Exactly,
schools as well.
And it wouldn't be so bad if it was one sector. The problem is healthcare in general, but particularly vulnerable citizens with developmental disabilities who need these services desperately. Some of this gets down to life and death situations, I'm afraid.
What services now are going to be endangered because of what's happening at the legislative level?
Well, residential services for sure, therapies, medical services, and so forth. And in many of these organizations, the problem is labor is your biggest cost. You can't cut deeply or to a great degree without affecting labor, meaning laying people off. In Dade County alone, perhaps Sunrise by itself employs several hundred people. The way we look at it, and it isn't an absolute conclusion yet, but we may have to lay off a couple of hundred people. That means a lot less service.
How many people, those couple of hundred workers, how many people do they care for?
We are serving a little over 500 in Dade County alone, and almost 2,000 in the whole system. But this state is most affected, Florida. But Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach areas are the ones we're most worried about.
So you're telling us, you're sitting here saying the outlook is very bleak for a lot of the people who you serve.
For the people I serve and the thousands of others served by other nonprofits, most definitely. This is the worst year ever that I've ever seen, if these cuts are implemented.
Right. Well, let's look toward the positive side and the event. How much do you typically raise, and what are you looking to raise this year?
Well, thanks to our gracious sponsors, we usually net on this event, if everything goes well, in excess of $100,000.
But how do you think the economy is going to affect the amount of giving? I mean, do you think it's going to have a significant effect?
We had to work almost twice as hard getting the sponsorships for this race, but fortunately, since many realize who we're supporting and what the cause is about, they've been very gracious despite the hard times driven by the economy. They've been very gracious, and we will meet our goal. Henceforth, I don't know, but we're just worried about this race this year, and we're very grateful to our sponsors and the public who come out and support us. We will reach the goal, there's no doubt.
Who gets to fly and who gets to come watch?
Well, sponsors get to fly. If we have spare positions, we'll try to accommodate who we can, and those people who choose to crew and help out, if they're lucky and there's a spot open on that basket, they may luck out. But usually we have an obligation to the sponsors, of course, and personnel employed by the sponsors to ride.
And the weather looks like it's going to be a go.
It looks pretty good. We're counting on you for other people at Channel 6 for that.
I hope you're listening, Ryan, because you got to come through for us this weekend.
So it is looking good, and hopes are very high that we'll get off all 3 flights, and we fly 6:30 tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon at around 5:30, and then one on Sunday morning around 6:30 again. You have to get up. Anything over 6 knots is a problem.
Let's keep it below.
All right. Hope to see you there, Bob.
Luck.
Thank you.
Sunrise Community's hot air balloon race takes place this weekend, April 19th and 20th at the Kendall Tamiami Airport. The event starts at 6 in the morning, as you heard. For more information, there's the number 305-596-9040. Roxy.
Well, one of the stars on NBC's hit show Heroes is a star of a film opening up today, and Al Pacino, he's back on the big screen. Here's your Bob.